Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I am your host, Quentin Edmonds, and today I am joined by someone that I think you want to like to hear from. I'm excited because I know what she does, what she specializes in, and I think it's so helpful for sometimes a community that's forgotten about. And so I'm so excited about her work and what she's doing. And so listen, I want to introduce to you who I believe is my friend now, Miss Caitlin Duffy. I'm so happy to have you here. I love what you're doing in the loan space, in the capital market space, especially for our veterans. But I'm gonna let you talk more about that because that's your specialty. But thank you so much, Miss Caitlin, for being here. How are you feeling today, ma'am?
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate this.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. And I think, matter of fact, I know our listeners are really going to take something away from your approach and the way you do things. And again, your specialty. And so I want to dive right in, if you don't mind, like for people who may not be familiar with you, they want to know more about you. Like, what is your main focus these days? And also tell them what market you're in. What market are you operating out of?
So I'm physically in Las Vegas, and this is my number one focus. However, I do quite a bit of lending in the Phoenix area. And then I'm licensed in a lot of states. I was in the military, so I was in the Army for 10 years. And so I have a lot of friends in my personal sphere that are either still military or prior military. And they PCS, which is an Army term for move duty stations. They PCS a lot. And over the last decade, anytime one of my friends PCS to a new state and wanted to buy a home, they'd call me and I would just go ahead and get licensed in that state. So now I'm licensed in all of the places where there's big Army bases. So if you name a big Army base, I'm probably licensed in the state. But Las Vegas is my number one.
Absolutely. I love it. You got boots on the ground. They say, listen,
Yes.
I'm here. Caitlin, listen, we need your help. So I love that. That's a great networking right there. I love it. Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. And so I know we were talking a little bit backstage, and so you told me that one of the things that's at the core of what you do is helping veterans. First, I believe you said first home owner, buyership. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure, absolutely. So when I first got into the industry, I was right outside a military base. So my first 3-4 years of being a mortgage lender and just like the training, the assistance side was almost all VA loans. It just happened to be our market. And so I got really good at the back ends, and I'm a self-identified nerd. So reading the guidelines and finding out the new updates coming up, I love that. So I really started to get into like the VA education side. And it's my passion right now is to educate our veterans and service members on the VA loan, how to take advantage of all of the benefits, know all of the myths, know all of the, the negative connotations that are kind of out there, kind of squashing those. And so really just the VA education side of it is my absolute passion. And I do consider myself a VA mortgage expert.
I love it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 questions back to back. Is it within this climate, do you find it easy to do? And then also, what keeps you motivated to do what you do? Like, what keeps you, let's say, running smoothly? Like,
Mhm.
talk to me about that.
Right. So the VA loan, if you do them well, they are the easiest product out there. They just slam dunks. There's so many, and I say this in the most compliant way, there's so many loopholes out there. Like the VA wants to do what's best for the client. They're not just like, hey, this is the rule, black and white, doesn't matter. If there's something that's a rule in the guideline and it might be better for the client to go one way or the other, call Regional Loan Center.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Be like, hey, here's my situation. They do a lot of things on a case-by-case basis. And so VA loans are so easy. The appraisal is not any harder than any other government product. Title works the same. So when people, I hear people say like, oh, VA loans take longer. Nope. I close them in 18, 21 days all the time. So they just take longer and are harder if your lender isn't familiar with them. And like I said, I do them all day, every day. So for me, it's the easiest one out there. It's actually funny when I get a loan that's not a VA, I'll have to be like, hold on, let me refresh on these guidelines real quick. I'm not missing anything. So I always have like a 2-second stutter where I'm like, oh yeah, hold on. I know how to do this. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What was the second part?
Definitely. No, you kind of answered it, but what kind of keeps you motivated kind of to do what you do?
Yes. So I am a very technical loan officer. I was a great assistant before I was in the sales side of it. So my checklists and my database and the way that my team and I go through our day, it's very military-esque as far as like we do the same thing every time, every day. And so it keeps us consistent. It keeps us disciplined. There's a rhyme or reason for everything. And, like I've said before, like I am very disciplined. And I think that discipline beats out motivation every day. Motivation is depending on your emotions and discipline is focused on your calendar. And so if my team and I do the same thing every day based on our calendar and our systems, have this playbook for success. So why wouldn't we be successful?
I don't know why I just felt so attacked when you said, I know you ain't mean to, but
specifically to you, Q, not specifically.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's good stuff. Yeah, I listen. I definitely could not have said that better myself. So no, that's absolutely great. Now listen. Now I know there are times when things can get real. Maybe like a deal can go sideways. The time that maybe you had to pivot fast. So you mind sharing one of those stories or times?
Yes. Hold on. I have a handful.
Take your time.
Yeah, because we've all had those deals where a client buys a car 2 days before closing and all of a sudden everything's out of whack. We had one fairly recently and it was one of those just everybody missed it sort of things. Buyer had child support that nobody knew about and I didn't see it on the bank statement. He never mentioned having children. It was a single guy. He put 0 dependents. And it just never came up until all of a sudden it wasn't on pay stubs. Like looking back, I don't know, besides specifically asking him the question, do you have child support, to a single man with no kids that I thought. But we found out like 2 days before closing that yes, he does have children and yes, he does pay child support. They're just not dependents, which is why he didn't list them. And oh man, and of course it was a domino deal where the person selling the home to that client was buying a home the next day. And all of the realtors I knew and my reputation was, on all of it. And I think I cried in a Starbucks parking lot for about 5 minutes before, walking in and trying to handle the situation. My underwriters are amazing. So we were able to get everything up and be like, okay, if he can pay off this credit card and pay down this, and we can get another $500 from the seller, we can kind of move everything around and make it work. And you really have to have a good team at that point where everybody is on board with wanting to make the file work. And just, communication is key. I think I sent out a group text to all 5 realtors involved saying, we hit a hiccup, everyone hold their breath. I'll come back in a minute when it's handled. So, but no, that definitely does happen.
Absolutely.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
No, thank you for sharing. That's the stuff that people need to hear, right? And that's the stuff that us sitting on the opposite end, need to hear, because when we going into it, you're trying to help us out. If we're trying to get a loan, let's not make your job no harder, right? Like
Exactly.
we all want the same thing. We all want success, right?
Yeah.
And so let's not make the thing harder. Let's put all the things out on the table like we need to. And so I thank you for giving your perspective. And this is the stuff that people don't talk about enough, the hard stuff. And so I appreciate you sharing the honesty and the vulnerability. I appreciate it, because this is the stuff we need to know. This is the stuff we need to hear. And so this is why I love talking to people who do what they do and do what they do at a high level. And so thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. I always tell buyers, tell me everything. Tell me everything. I know the guidelines. I know the guidelines like the back of my hand. You tell me everything, the whole story. And then I know what program to put you in based on the information you give me. Because there's different programs and different guidelines available. So if you tell me half of the story and I put you in a program where your story doesn't mesh, and we find out a week before closing, I look incompetent, and then you're stressed out. Nobody wants that. So I'm like, just tell me everything so I can package it beautifully and find the right program for you.
Absolutely. So yeah, thank you. That's why I know you are in this for the long term. You're going to be in it for the long term because of the discipline that you betrayed just with that story that you told. So appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing. So let me ask you this. What are you focused on solving next? Like, is there anything you're trying to ramp up, scale up? Like, what's the next goal you feel like for you within what you do?
So I know that I have been focusing on VA education on the veteran side for a long time. And I still love that. I'm not scaling that down at all. I think that it's important. There's not enough education out there for the actual, veterans when they're getting out of the military, or service members while they're in the military. There's not enough education. The other thing that I'm trying to ramp up a little bit more is the education for the real estate agents, because they have their claws in the client a little bit more. They spend more time with them. You spend all day house shopping. You know what I mean? They are able to build that relationship with the clients much more than the lender can. And so now I'm kind of turning a little bit to try and focus more on VA education for the real estate agents, because I have heard some real estate agents say to clients some very off the wall facts that were completely untrue. And it's kind of like, wait, no, stop spreading those rumors. You know what I mean? So I'm realizing that I need to kind of get to the root of it, or, the head of the problem, which is educating our real estate agents on the VA product.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that. I think that's big. What I love about what I'm hearing from you is that, yes, you're disciplined, which means that you have systems in place that keep running themselves, but you're not going to get stagnant at the same time. Like, yes, I'm disciplined,
No, you can't.
and I do the same thing over and over, but I'm not going to get stagnant. And so that's what I love to hear about you talking about educating the investor. That's huge. That's huge. And so, I'm sure you experience things in life that, like, the next move, it can either compound things or create chaos. And of course, that's depending on how you play it, right? And so, you got people who's listening in, they're thinking about buying, thinking about getting loans. And I think, because I love how you educating people so they know, hey, I can put you in the right program. I can put you we can get this done. Get this done right.
You do your doctor and lying. Like, why? Like, they're there to help you. Yeah.
And in your story, you said you have teams in place. So I want to ask you this: when it comes to building relationships, like, from that perspective, what you think have made the biggest difference for you with building relationships and having a good team in place?
A team in place? Honestly, are you familiar with the DISC personality test?
No.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Okay, no, I'm not. Please tell me.
So it's a personality test that you can take, and I'm certified on it. So I actually teach it to real estate agents and other people in sales. I've done it like at a car dealership and stuff like that. So anybody in sales. And what it does is it teaches people in sales how to, like, if the way that you're acting, for me to then respond based on your personality, right? So in my team, what's really good is that when I'm building my team, I have them all take the DISC test. So for my first interview with them, maybe an intro, and then I send them the DISC. But before my first formal interview with them, I have their DISC results in front of me. And I can tell you right then and there what spot in my team they would be perfect for. Like if you're a high I, which is more of like an extroverty, I'm going to put you in my marketing team, right? But if you're a high C, which is compliance, I want you reviewing my loan docs. I want you going through bank statements, making sure I'm not missing anything. So once I look at your personality test, then I know where to put you in my team. And that has made a huge difference on building everything up, because then you have people in roles where their strengths shine, as opposed to trying to make an introvert in sales or trying to make an extrovert read guidelines. You know what I mean? Or, somebody have with ADD read guidelines when that person needs to be the dreamer, so there's so many different personalities out there. And I think that placing everyone perfectly is what's really helped our team succeed, is that everybody's playing to their strengths, including myself, because I know exactly what my weaknesses are.
Now, see, that's good for business, and it's also good for the people that you work with, right? Because they get to shine in a position that hey, you're built for this. Like, we know you built for this, and so that just helps business all around. That just helps the system run smooth when you got the right people in the right place. And so, that's brilliant. Like, you can't fake that. Like, relationships, it's everything. I am loving the way you are thinking and the systems that you're building to make sure that you have the right people in the right place. That is awesome.
Absolutely. And it's also nice because I let them read my DISC profile, it's a little personal because it's, reading it, it's one of those like, man, that was mean, but you just described me perfectly, is that they've read mine too. And they see what my weaknesses are, and I'm very vulnerable with it. And so it's easy for me to tell my team, like, hey, I promise I'm not being cold and distant. I am just a very high D. So for me, details don't matter. So I need you to come to me with 3 bullet points and not distract me with some details or like your weekend plans, or, you know what I mean? Because my personality can come off cold, but it's it's my personality trait. So once they're aware of that, they realize I'm not cold. It's just how I interact when I'm in a workplace environment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I heard one person say, and this is not to call anybody a positive or a negative. So y'all just follow me with the analogy, right? But when you have a car battery, in order for that battery to work, you have a positive and a negative. And so that's how the car, if you can't run the car just on both positives. You can't run the car on both negatives. Again, not saying anybody's positive or negative. I'm just saying that the people who weakness may be here and whose strengths there, when you get everybody together, we move the vision forward. And that's what it sounds like you're doing with your business and with that DISC test. We're going to move this vision forward because we're going to make sure everybody is connecting in the place where they need to connect.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I like that. That's a good analogy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, this has been wonderful. Listen, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, maybe collaborate with you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
If Facebook or Instagram, honestly. So Caitlin Duffy is my Facebook, just as it's written. I'm the only one. And then call Caitlin Home Loan is my tag on like TikTok and Instagram and all that fun stuff. But I'm on, social media for my 45-minute dedicated time on my calendar every day. So within that 45-minute time, I will respond back to anything. But no, that's the easiest way. And yeah, I would love to teach VA classes to future home buyers. My last thing is my VA Millionaire class. I would love to teach veterans how to have passive income and become a VA millionaire. I personally used my VA loan 15 times. And I own 5 properties right now. All of them I used my VA loan at one point on. So I'm going to have passive income. That's my retirement program, or, that's my retirement goal, even taking my lending side, business aside. So, just want to empower all of my fellow veterans to have passive income.
Thank you for taking that. I mean, you literally, I was going to try to tee you up for that, but you said it perfect. Because I was going to ask you, is there any more parting words? But you just said it perfectly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing with our audience. Thank you so much for getting this message out. I just appreciate you and I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much.
So much for having me. I appreciate it. This is a great platform.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So listen, we need more people like you in this space. So continue that dedication, continue that forward thinking, continue to do what you do. And so for all those that's listening, again, this has been my friend, Miss Caitlin Duffy, and I thank y'all for tuning in. If you have found value in this, please make sure you are subscribed because you're going to miss conversations like this if you're not. So we want that notification coming through because you never know who's going to be on here. You never know the information that you're going to get. It's always going to be valuable information. And so again, Miss Duffy, I thank you so much. You have a great day. And listen, everyone that's tuning in, we'll see you next time. All right. Have a great one.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.